Hi, everybody. So welcome to A Course in Miracles. Happy Sunday. Another day that the Lord has made, and we will be joyous within it. Because today we're focusing on Lesson 185, I want the peace of God. And when we want the peace of God, we have stillness. We have joy. We're all chasing that joy in the external world, trying to find joy and peace and happiness and you name it out there. And it's temporary, but we always come back to emptiness. We come back to feeling there's something missing. And so today we're saying yes to God, yes to peace. But to mean these words requires something. Well, we'll talk about it. But before we go and do that, let's begin with settling in and putting God first. Yep, I've got my trusty iPad here. Can see everyone. I won't mention all your names, but Yvette said, Yvette's here, and Mark and Susan and everybody. And I heard Jamie say it. So welcome to all of you light workers. Yeah, I can see all your lights on the lamppost. Okay, so you ready? Let's go ahead and close our eyes. Just close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Breathing in love and breathing out fear. Just focus on the breath. Inhaling love, exhaling fear. Inhaling, yes, yes, God, I'm saying yes to you. And really mean that. To say the words is nothing. To mean those words is everything. So I'm saying yes to you, God. God is peace. I'm saying yes to peace. And I'm saying no to fear when I exhale. I'm releasing, I'm letting go. Really focus on your breath. We allow ourselves to become very still in this moment by choosing peace over chaos, peace over confusion, peace. We're choosing peace over anything external. And so we sink more deeply inward. It's relaxing into the body, allowing the body to serve you as a temple. Whereby you are sinking deeper and deeper into the stillness with every breath. Breathing in peace and breathing out everything else. Quieting your mind. Relaxing into the body. Allowing all the muscles and tension to be released. It's almost like that kind of a feeling of just relaxing inward, turning inward, sinking deeper and deeper within with every inhale. You've made a big decision to say yes to God when you say, I want the peace of God. I want only peace. Trusting that God knows your needs. And when you go for peace, your future is grand. Because the Spirit in you wants to shower you with an outpouring of love. You are so loved. Sink into that. I am so loved. And feel an outpouring, a showering of love by the Spirit that's residing in your right mind, always there, always there. This is a deep commitment to say, I want the peace of God. I want only peace. It is a commitment. Because the ego is always trying to lure you away from peace. But right here, right now, you are committed to, I want only the peace of God. Breathing in perfect peace and breathing out everything else. Your goal is to reach a state of peace. That is the goal. Because within peace, you have the answer to every problem that you face. So you quiet the mind and feel deeply perfect peace that is already inside of you. It's always there. And in this state of perfect peace, you do not have to tell God what to do. He already knows your needs. And if you can just trust, if you can just trust Him that knows, all shall be given. Spirit will never fail you, but you must choose peace first. Peace is your answer. You don't have to figure it out. God knows your needs. Breathe in love. I am committed to make peace my goal today. Dear God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I can only change my mind. And so today, I change my mind about who I think I am. I have made a self-concept full of fear. But I'm asking you, dear God, to change my mind about who I think I am, that I remember my true identity as the image and likeness of your glory. I make peace my goal. I say yes to peace. Grant me courage. I am so afraid to let go of trying to figure out my future. I need courage to change the things I can, which is only my thoughts. Grant me courage, God, to change my thoughts, the way I think, that I come to know that peace, only peace, is my answer. And above all else, dear God, I pray for wisdom to know the difference. It is the Holy Spirit in my mind, I know, that will teach me, guide me, show me the way. The Holy Spirit in my right mind, who is always there residing quietly. She is the wisdom. Increase in me, dear God, trust in you. Increase in me faith in you. I know peace is your will for me. Peace is your will. I have been so afraid to let go and trust you. But I am committed now to peace. And all these private thoughts that I have been pushing down, I expose them, I bring them up and give them to the light. That I be empty of all this fear and return to love, to peace. There are no shadows that can ever hold me back from your glory. Breathing in love and breathing out everything else except the truth about yourself right now. You are an idea in the mind of God. You can never be outside of that. Therefore, it is God's will that you be at peace. Breathe that in. Accepting truth. I want the peace of God. Let that be your mantra for today. And when you have this sincere desire in your heart, guidance will come to you. I want the peace of God. And hold that prayer in your heart. And then trust the Spirit to guide you. Everything will come to you, for you. The Spirit will lead you. You will be lived through. And all you have to do is follow. It is the Spirit that will give you guidance from this peaceful place. You of yourself can do nothing. It is the Spirit, the Father in you, that doeth all things through you, that will guide you. Do not pray for specifics. Pray for peace. You are letting go slowly, slowly. As a light worker, you're letting go of all these ego constructs. This false persona, your mask, dropping it all. There have been so many things that you've chased after in this world, saying, I'd be happy when, if only. What should I do? Where should I go? We drop that today and say, I want the peace of God. And with the sincere desire of your heart, you will be led by Spirit. And then you follow. Remember, you made the world you see. You invented it with your thoughts. And you continue to look for things in this world that you think will bring you peace and happiness and contentment. But none of these things will content the Holy Son of God. There is nothing in this world that will make you happy. You were made out of happiness. You were made out of joy. You were made out of love. And all you have to do is remove the barriers, the things that block you from truth. Breathing in love. Breathe it in, accept with a big commitment. I want the peace of God. There's your answer. That's your answer. The Spirit will guide you from this holy place. The ego has a lot of goals for you. It has a lot of ideas about what your future should be. And the ego is insane. It's all a setup. You must return to love. You must want peace above all else. The world is an impossibility. It's an impossible situation. Everything that you're chasing, everything that you think you need, every new goal that you set for yourself, pursuing ego desires, they are distractions to keep you out of heaven. You must keep returning to the present moment where peace is, where your answers lie. You must forgive the illusion, go past the illusion, go beyond the veil. The Spirit knows you. The Spirit will use things that you like, you love in this dream world to convince you, don't worry. But this self-concept that you made has taken the place of the Christ light within your mind. And what's happened to you is that you have adapted to the insanity of the world. Your real, beautiful self is a divine reality. But you made a self-concept to replace it. Drop it now. I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. I am saying yes to Spirit. Yes. I am accepting that as I let go of all these ego concepts, everything that I value, I drop it. Every belief that I've held on to, they're all a continuum of insanity. Can you feel yourself letting go of all of that? All your beliefs? What if you had no beliefs? Who would you be? What if you had no self-concepts. No religion, no race, no color, no creed. Now who are you? You would be peaceful. You would be at peace. These ego concepts, these ego constructs that you have invented have kept you on a timeline, a continuum of insanity. But feel as though you are pushing them away from you. Almost like they're shapes in your aura. Squares and triangles and blocks and rectangles. All beliefs, ego concepts, constructs, and you push them away, blow them away. They're nothing. Now who are you? Can you feel yourself a little lighter? No worries, no straining, no trying to figure out your future, no regrets about the past, no hypothetical thoughts, private thoughts. Nothing, everything is in the open. You are pure light. This is what happens when you say yes to God. This is what happens to you when you say yes to peace. No more burdens. You will be done through, lived through. It is effortless. And when you say, "Dear God, I trust you," then whatever comes to you is for you. And you trust the process. Because it's not you doing it. It is a higher power whose will for you is peace. Don't you want that? It requires willingness. You've got to question every value that you hold. You can't keep one private thought. You can't keep one self-concept. You can't keep any of it. Because everything you hold on to has the power to dictate each decision that you make. You're doing it all to you. Why are you hurting yourself? Stop hurting yourself. And simply feel light in this very moment, in this holy instant, where you don't have to worry about anything. And because you have said yes to God, you have the serenity of mind to accept things and then to think differently about things that are insane, to change your mind. It's all you. And you have mustered up the courage to trust in God with faith that every step you take, you are being led. You are being led by the Spirit. To trust that process, to have faith. Oh, ye of little faith. You have faith in the ego. Stop it. Have faith in God. Trust in your Father who created you, who knows you, who knows how many hairs are on your head, who calls you by name. Have faith. You are being led. All you have to do is follow. Just follow. From this peaceful place, this is the commitment we are making today. And every day, one day at a time. This is freedom from guilt. Freedom, total freedom, is trust and faith in the divine. Breathe in love. And a big yes. I am saying yes to peace. And then I will trust with faith that God knows my future. I do not. Breathing in and breathing out now, just feel that lightheartedness. Oh, you are completely present. You are in this moment of now. There's nothing else. Nothing else. Don't worry. There's nothing else. There's just this moment where you and God and the Spirit are one. And all you have to do is follow the Spirit's guidance. Just follow with trust and faith. And so, Heavenly Father, we are ever grateful for the Holy Spirit, the divine comforter that you have placed within our right minds. And today we are making peace our goal. We turned our mind, our heart, and our will over to the care of the divine Spirit in us that will guide our path. And with you, you have increased in us the faith and the trust in the Spirit, in the goodness of living in oneness. And so it is with so much love and so much praise for you and so much gratitude for everything that together we can say, Amen. And when you feel ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. Hi, everyone. Well, I could feel that. I mean, I want the peace of God. As we're told in Lesson 185, to say these words is meaningless unless you have this deep desire, really the desire for peace. I mean, our hearts are filled with so many other desires in this world. And really everything that we're chasing in this world, we're actually trying to find peace. We're trying to find happiness out there. But can you imagine if you just said, yes, I trust you, God. I have faith in you. And I just want peace. And so therefore, anything in my mind, any thoughts in my mind that do not bring me peace, I turn away from. And I keep my eyes open and my ears open so that I can see little miracle cards come my way that have ideas on them for me that will speak to my heart. I will know. Or maybe I will hear a song. Somebody might say something that tweaks my interests, and I'm able to put the pieces of my lost puzzle pieces back together, because the Spirit will use everything that your personality likes to bring you what you need, or to prompt you to move in a different direction. All of this comes out of peace. So what if you just made peace your goal? Just today, and then one day at a time. Just peace. Then emotions that come up, you just let them come up and move away from your aura. And feelings that come up, you entertain nothing. You attach to nothing. You just observe it all coming up and flowing away from you. Like a gentle, gentle moving away from you. And all that remains is this peace, this calm, this relaxation, because what you have in your heart is this knowingness that you will be led by the Christ. You will be led by the light. That will guide you. And then you just follow. Can you feel that? Just nothing else. Nothing is around you. Nothing is there. Nothing. Thoughts come. You will never get rid of thoughts in this world. Never. This is a world of duality. It is the world. It is a mad world. Thoughts will come, but you will master your energy, whereby you will observe and witness. You will not attach. You will not entertain the insanity. And if you have a question about your future, you will begin to move away from asking for ego specifics. You will not be asking for things specifically. Instead, you will go for peace, because peace has everything within it. But we have been taught to do it the other way around. I want the peace of God looks like if I had a new job. I want the peace of God looks like, dear God, can you give me this? And then I know I can be at peace. And that is the wrong way to go about it. We are being told here in the Course in Miracles by the one who knows, if you make peace your goal, I will lead you. And then you follow me, because God's will for you is peace. So how can you know what's going to bring you peace? You don't. Have you ever chased something because you thought it was the very thing that was going to bring you peace and happiness and joy? And finally, you had reached the mountaintop where you didn't have to do anything else anymore, that you were going to flatline in this peaceful place, and you never got there, because that's not how it works. Peace is an inside job, and out of that comes everything else. And you have a guide, a beautiful guide. The Spirit knows your future, the Spirit knows your past, and the Spirit knows you. And the Spirit knows that all your illusions are so, wow, to you, oh, you hang on to them. But the Spirit takes none of them seriously. The Mother, the Divine Mother, she looks past everything. And she looks upon you with compassion, because she knows you believe it all. And none of it is real. And so when we finally say with sincerity of heart, I want the peace of God, You will know where to go. You will know what to say. You will know what to do. And you will have a guide, the Spirit, the Christ light. Call it what you want. There is a higher power in you that will guide you. Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it? So I'm not going to read the entire lesson because what we're going to talk about, as we have been the last few minutes, is based on lesson 135 and also in the text, chapter 24. So I'm not going to read. I went through this and I pulled out some paragraphs and sentences that we'll talk about. Okay? So beginning from the text, chapter 24, it says, "Forget not that the motivation of this course, for this course, is the attainment and the keeping of peace. That is why we must learn the Dharma. That is why we must train our minds." And I love this book. It has been in my life for 30 years. I raised my daughters with this book. And there are 365 lessons that will lead you to peace. You've got to train your mind to think differently because we've been taught to trust the world of insanity. And Jesus, the scribe, the Christ, coming through Helen Schuckman, gave us these 365 lessons that are unfolding one into the other to teach you how to dismantle the constructs of the ego, the concepts of the ego based on the world of fear. We must learn to remove everything, but it won't happen until you train the mind. Whether you study Buddhism, the Bhagavad Gita, any spiritual religious book, its aim is always at its core to bring you to a state of peace. So that's the motivation of learning the course. Keeping of the state of peace, keeping it. How about that? How would you like to live every day peaceful? That is, it seems unattainable, and yet it is natural. It is only when you are not in your natural state that you are without peace. So to get back into the right mind, where the Spirit is, it's just peace. There's nothing else. And yet there's everything within it. Given this state, the mind is quiet because you're not entertaining those insane thoughts. When you are in the moment, there's nothing else. You are so at one. Thoughts that run around in the mind, you're so quiet and at peace. The heart is still. Your only desire is love and God and happiness and joy within. And the thoughts are still going to jump around like a mad monkey, but you're so peaceful. The real you is so peaceful. Well, these thoughts eventually leave you alone because you're not playing with them. You're not entertaining them. And I don't know about you, but growing up in school, if someone was bothering you and you didn't react to it, pretty soon they left you alone and went and disturbed someone else. It's the same way with thoughts. So the mind is quiet, and the condition in which God is remembered is attained. How beautiful is that? And you just remember who you are. I am all that God is. And it sounds like it's a really passive state to be in, but it isn't. It is actually very powerful. There's power in stillness. There's power in that quiet knowing who you are. And whatever is needed in the moment, you are there. You can stand up. You can stand empowered. You can stand in truth, because it's not you. It is the guide within you, leading you, and you are following this beautiful guidance. So it's not necessary to tell God what to do. How many times do you tell God what you need? You tell the Spirit what to do. Could you just go and get me this? Can you just make sure that I have a better future in this dream world? That's not God's goal for you. The divine's goal for you is peace. And so when we get too specific, we are telling God what to do. And yet, the Spirit will use things that you love, that you identify with in this world. Remember, the mother is clever. The light in your right mind, she knows what you like. She knows what you need. You don't have to ask for specifics, really. If you go for peace and you say yes to God with trust and faith, then everything that you like, everything that lies latent within you that you're not even aware is there, will be used. And you will be directed into a future that is way beyond anything that you could come up with on your own. So aren't we crazy telling God what we need? Telling God what we want? You just want to change the form of the pain in this world of uncertainty, in this world of chaos. You're chasing a dream. Make peace your goal. God will not fail you. The Spirit cannot fail. Because you were created out of peace, as peace, for peace, that is your natural inheritance. And when you return to that, Spirit will never fail you. Where Spirit can enter, there Spirit is already. So where God can enter, there He is already. You are an idea in the mind of God. You can't be outside of it. So He will not fail. And can it be He cannot enter where He wills to be? The Spirit is already in your right mind. You keep forgetting that. That's why you're chasing a dream. That's why you become so involved with these ego specifics, asking for specific things in this world. God is already in your mind, knows everything you need that will make you feel peaceful. Peace will be yours because it is God's will. Can you believe a shadow can hold back the will that holds the universe together? What is a shadow? It is an insane belief. What is a shadow? Private thoughts. What are private thoughts? They're hypothetical thoughts about your future and about the past. They're feelings and emotions, insecurity, sadness that you push down. And then you wear a smile. Oh, it's all good. And you have all of these private thoughts, these hypothetical ideas and resentments, regrets, all pushed down. Do you think a shadow can hold you back? You are the will of God. And God holds this whole universe together. It is the glue that holds everything together. So how can a shadow, your little ideas about yourself and shadow, the shadow world that you live in, do you think that's more powerful than God? That's how insane we are outside of our truth. God doesn't wait upon illusions to let him be himself. No more his Son. The Christ in you is omnipotent, all-powerful. The Christ in you is omnipresent, everywhere. Omniscient. That's the real you. And the you that's scared for your future, sad about this moment, upset about yesterday, full of grief about something that happened 10 years ago, this is a shadow that you're attached to. It is not real. You're making it real. And what illusion that idly seems to drift between them has the power to defeat what is their will. Their will, Christ's will, God's will, your will are one. Perfect peace. That is the will of God. To learn this course requires to question every value that you hold, good and bad. They're both good values, bad values, are all part of a continuum of insanity in this world of illusion. Question them. The good ones will fade into becoming bad ones. And then the bad ones will change to good ones. So they're not real. Because that which changes is not real. Only peace is real. Only love is real. There isn't good love and not good love. Love is all-encompassing. But in this world, there are values, good and bad values, and they're both insane. You must be willing to question your values. Not one of these values can be kept hidden and obscure, because all of this will jeopardize your learning. In other words, you've got to expose, bring up to the spirit all of these values that you hold so dear, to expose all these ego concepts about yourself, everything to do with your race, your color, your beliefs, your religious beliefs, all the indoctrination that has been imposed and injected into you, to expose it all and move it away from the Son of God. Offer it up. Go beyond the illusion. Forgive. That's what it means. Go beyond the illusion. Separate the veil. Go beyond the veil into the light. Let it all go. Every one of these beliefs that you hold, every one of these values that you have, has the power to dictate every decision that you make. And then you blame the world. They made me. Nobody made you. The world that you're living in right now is the result of what you think, what you believe, the values you hold. Really sink into that truth. You're doing it all. And the more you hold on to this insanity, the more fear you have, the more scarcity consciousness begins to grow. You become more greedy. You become more selfish. You become impatient. You become curt with people, hurtful, very unkind. All of this is a result of what you believe. It's not the world doing anything to you. It's all you generating this insanity. And it is on a timeline. Your mind falls asleep. So the sleeping mind has created an insane world, has projected an insane world, a continuum of one insane thought after another. There's no peace in that. How could there be peace in you trying to work your life out? You're just jumping. So these powers, these decisions, these beliefs, these thoughts, these ego constructs, they have the power to dictate each decision that you make. For a decision is a conclusion based on everything you believe. So we do things that we say we don't want to be doing, and yet we're still doing it because there's a belief underneath that. And until you look at the belief, and it's all fear. And you know what? At the very core of everything is the deepest belief of all. And that is you think you're separate from God. That's the core belief. And out of that core belief comes all the insanity. So every decision is a conclusion based on everything that you believe. It's an outcome of belief. So the world you see, look at your marriage. Your marriage is a result of what you believe. Look at your job, your career. It is a result of what you believe. Look at your life. You are living in the results of what you believe and what you think. It follows as surely as does suffering follow guilt and freedom, sinlessness. There is no substitute for peace. You know, you think about that. When you want to behave in a not nice way to someone, then you have substituted something for peace. You have said, well, maybe I can get more peaceful if I make you look like an idiot. Maybe I can become more peaceful if I make you small and me big. Maybe I can be more peaceful if I'm rude and curt and selfish. Maybe I can find peace in that. That's what you're looking for, actually. You're looking for peace in all the wrong places. You're substituting insanity for sanity, which is peace. What God creates has no alternative. You do not have a choice. In truth, you are created out of peace. So when you scramble around in this world, you are actually looking for peace. But there's no substitutes because you are made peaceful. Remove the blocks to the presence of what is already there. And the glory of peace has every answer you're looking for. And that's why one of the virtues that we must cultivate is patience, isn't it? I mean, I know in the Catholic faith, the virtues, the beautiful virtues, we learn so many beautiful things in all the different religions, and maybe we should start practicing them to learn patience. My mother used to say the mills of the Lord grind slowly. Things come to you according to the perfect timing. You must develop patience. But we're impatient. The ego is impatient. I want it now. God, tell me now. Where am I going to be tomorrow? What time? And when is that $1 million coming? I want to know now. And I want to know this and I want to know that, and bring me this and bring me that. This is all the ego. But to the peaceful warrior, it is a gentle trust and peace and faith, trust and faith, that everything is going to come to me in its perfect timing, in God's timing. And maybe my lesson is, well, all lessons on earth are forgiveness, which is to go past the illusion of what you think you need. To go past all of that and to trust. Say, I trust you, God. I trust you. Just for today, I trust you. I have faith. I am tired of trying to figure it out. I know you know the desire of my heart, and the desire of my heart is peace. Wow. So, what God creates has no alternative. The truth arises from what he knows. And your decisions come from your beliefs, as certainly as all creation rose in his mind because of what he knows. The pursuit of specialness is always at the cost of peace. And we do that all the time, especially in, I'm better than him, look at me. A special relationship. Someone has to lose and someone wins. That is all at the cost of peace. And the pursuit of happiness, or the pursuit of specialness, is always going to bring you pain. I'm taking certain sentences from chapter 24. Specialness is the idea of sin made real. You actually believe what you made in your mind is real. So you think you're better than someone else. You think you know better than someone else. You think your world is the only world. The way you think is the only way to think, because you are special. You're not special. You are born out of love. And you're no more special than your wife or your husband or your children. You're no more special. If you think you are without knowledge of who you really are in truth. And that's what sin is, to be without knowledge, to miss the mark. You're created in the image and likeness of God. And so when you think you're all special, you have this idea in your mind that is not of the light. And you're trying to make it real. You are not special. If you think you are, and you would defend your specialness against truth of what you really are, how can you know the truth, and how could you ever be at peace? Like, let your guard down. Take the armor off from, that wall around the heart. Drop it. Just be empty. You're not special. You'll never know truth trying to be special, trying to be somebody, trying to make up a better you. What answer that the Holy Spirit gives can reach you when it is your specialness to which you listen. You're listening to the voice of the ego, which tells you that you're better than, you're bigger than. This would be better for you. You don't need that in your life. Well, guess what? Whatever is in front of you is what God thinks you need to forgive the illusion. Well, think about that. What? That's why it's in front of you. Whatever comes to you comes for you. Wherever you find yourself, you have found yourself. Because the outside world is a full-blown reflection of what you want to be true inside, reflected. That's it. And then you try to push the form away because the ego tells you, you don't need that. That's not who you are. Instead of listening to the voice of spirit saying, if you just forgave that, if you just went beyond the illusion and said, well, that's interesting, I get it. I don't have to live this way because I'm created in the image and likeness of God. And so therefore I choose peace. I choose love. I choose happiness. Your reality would change. Why? Because your mind changed. I want peace. Okay. Its tiny answer, soundless in the melody that pours from God to you eternally in loving praise of what you are, is all you listen to. Wouldn't it be lovely to only hear one voice? Just one beautiful voice speaking to you. And that vast song of honor and of love for what you are seems silent and unheard before its mightiness. You strain your ears to hear its soundless voice, and yet the call of God himself is soundless to you. God is always there, but you can't hear it because you are busy entertaining the ego's voice. And what is that voice? Your private thoughts, your private angers, upsets, rages, regrets, frustrations, impatience. You don't talk about them, you push it down, you smile, and you get on with it, but your mind is filled with private thoughts. Your mind is filled with insane beliefs. Your mind is filled with negativity about this world. And yet God's melodies, like the music of the spheres, are speaking to you, are always there for you. Take the blinders off, take the earplugs out. Be still. Because the Holy Spirit's guidance is always to bring you to this moment. Very rarely does the Spirit give you guidance that sounds like, hello, Deanna. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you will go to KL. Anybody out there heard those voices? Very rarely. And Jesus tells us in the Course in Miracles, very rarely. But the Holy Spirit uses props, images, a song, a book, something that will get your attention because the Spirit knows you and knows what you're going to notice. But if you don't make peace your goal, you're not going to hear a thing. You're not going to notice a thing. And then you blame God. Then you blame everything. No, everything is coming to you all the time. Please make peace your goal. Don't be special. Be what you are as this perfect emanation of love and beauty and grace. Be that in this place of perfect peace. And you will be guided by this Spirit that overshadows your life 24/7 and has the lamp that will help dispel all your insanities. Why don't you follow that guide? Okay, you don't have to strain your ears. Be still. Just be still. Okay. Anybody got a question? Yes. Oh, I want the peace of God. So be it. So in lesson 185, it says to say these words is nothing. But to mean these words is everything. Why? Because God is everything. And you are created out of everything. So to mean these words, you can have everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant. How long is an instant? We're being told if you could just mean them for that instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form. Look at that. The Master is telling us how simple it is not to have sorrow in your heart. You don't have to carry sorrow around in your beautiful heart. All you have to do is say with meaning, I want the peace of God. It's like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, clicking her heels. It is so simple. No further sorrow would be possible for you in any form or in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness. Memory of God entirely restored. The resurrection of all creation fully recognized. Don't you want that? How simple is it? I want the peace of God, and say it with sincerity. And look what this first paragraph is loaded. It just gives you everything in its simplicity. Love is simplicity. Ego is complexity. No one can mean these words and not be healed. Healed of what? Sickness. Healed of what? Lack and scarcity. Healed of what? Confusion. Healed of what? Not knowing. No one can mean these words and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think. He is himself a dream. You can't make a hell and think it's real. You want the peace of God, and it is given you. You are already that. You were born as peace. For that's all you want, really. And that's all you'll receive. But it's everything. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. And a lot of times, if you get honest, and this would be a private thought, I'm afraid to want peace. Think about it. Are you afraid to want peace? Because that would mean you have to look at every value you hold. You have to expose every private thought to the spirit. Everything. What you're afraid of, your angers, your resentments, whatever thoughts are coming into your mind in that moment, open up that bag. Open up that box of darkness and give it all to the spirit. So people have said to me, oh my God, I'm afraid to ask for peace. And I ask them why. And they said, well, what if I don't get it? I said, increase your desire. Because what you desire in your heart, you will get. You will get. The question is, what are my desires? For that is all you want, and that is all you will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. Look around the world. How many people do you know in your life that sincerely want peace? I remember Sai Baba saying, over the years, millions of people had gone through the gates of the ashram, and he said maybe 5 wanted peace. They wanted something from the guru. Baba, manifest me a japa mala. Baba, give me an interview. Still external. But very few came asking for the peace of God. And yet it is so available. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. And that would be in your special relationships. Because 2 minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. For minds can only join in truth, not in dreams. in dreams, no two can share the same intent. Because when two people are identified with the dream world, then what's in that person's mind and what's in your mind are two different things. You either make a compromise to get peace, but down deep, neither one are happy, because it's not true peace. It's a substitute for peace. Illusions come to take God's place. And what he means is lost to sleeping minds, intent on compromise, each to his gain and another's loss. Look at your relationships. If you're married, partnerships, work colleagues, whatever. It's like, I want to win. I win, you lose. I'm special, you're not. There's no make peace your goal there. And if you were the one to choose peace, the other one would come up to your level. Because peace and love and joy are magnetic. And if someone wants your love and you're in a place of love, you will transform them by your love. You will call to the Christ in them from the Christ in you, and there will be peace in the room. And if they don't want your love, they'll walk away, and you will say, go in peace. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. That is why people are afraid to want the peace of God. Because you have to renounce all the dreams. It doesn't mean that you go live on the top of the Himalayas. Oh, it just means that the boat is in the water and there's no water in the boat. You are in the world and there's no world in you. You are playing the game. And you are a peaceful player. For no one who means these words, who wants illusions, and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. You're done with all of that. Because when you want the peace of God, you renounce all the dreams, because you know that whatever's coming to you in your life, whatever that is, you trust and you have faith in God that that is what is and needs to be as it is. Because he that sent you knows your future, knows your past, knows your needs. I want to go for that. I just want to have faith that whatever happens in my life is absolutely in divine order. It's all happening for me to forgive the illusion, go beyond the illusion, and to trust and to have deep faith in the power of Spirit, in the power of God. What a way to live. It's the only way to live. Let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. That's beautiful. And for everyone over in the West, when you go to sleep tonight in dream state, to say, I'm going to bed with these words on my tongue. I want the peace of God. And I want to wake up in the morning with those words on my lips. Let me live today wanting only the peace of God. And you can have that. We want the peace of God because we're created out of peace. This isn't an idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. See, when you don't want the peace of God, then you want a new job. Then you want a new husband. Then you want a new car. Then you want a new house. Then you want more money. Then you want more. You want a new dream in the dream world. Give me a better dream world, God. That's why you're afraid to ask for peace. Because what if God doesn't give me the dream that I think I want? Well, God is not insane. God is not going to give you something that is not going to bring you to a state of peace. Keep reminding yourself, this power wants you to align with peace. So it is going to bring you everything you need to feel peaceful. Have faith and trust. These people who devote their practice to making peace their goal, they don't ask for compromise. No more asking for compromise. You're not compromising with anything. You are saying, I want the peace of God, so I'm going to trust each day as it is. And they're not trying to make another bargain in hope that there may be yet one more dream that can succeed where everything else has failed. You know, those times where you go, well, maybe if I just got, that didn't work, but maybe if I just got that. That's that one last request. No, people that say with sincerity in their heart, I want the peace of God. Make no more compromise, no more requests. They have faith and they trust that they will be lived through. They have a guide and they will follow the guide. No more bargains, no more compromise. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain. They really are. If you just go back in your life on that timeline and all those things that you chased in vain, empty. You came up empty. Temporary, nothing lasting. So to mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in place of shifting dreams. Dear God, all I want is you. Come fill my heart. I'm done with shifting dreams. It's like shifting sands. Nothing stands. Shifting dreams which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. Remember, God's world is absolutely everything, and the ego's domain is absolutely nothing. This is the world that you've been changing, trying to find change in, trying to find peace and joy in. This is the world of shifting dreams. Today, devote your practice periods to carefully searching of your mind. Search your mind today to find the dreams you cherish still. Get out a piece of paper. Do the work. What is it that I'm chasing? What private thoughts am I holding on to that no one knows about? I don't even want to tell the spirit. Thoughts like, I hate my life. I hate that. I hate this. You know those thoughts. You don't want anyone to know what's in your mind. Write them all down. Just let it all up. Search your mind. There's a step in the 12-step program to do a fearless searching, an inventory of these idle wishes and dreams and private thoughts. Mom, what do you mean that we no longer need to compromise? Well, thank you, Kogi, good to see you here. Yeah, think of all those things in the dream world. You compromise your own truth. You compromise what you feel to be true within you, or you settle for something in this dream world. It's always, I'll do this in my specialness, I'll do this, and maybe they'll do that. Or maybe if I don't be who I really am or say what I really feel, because a lot of times with these private thoughts, we don't want to say what we really feel. We don't want to hurt anybody. And so we compromise our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions. We push everything down and put a smile, instead of saying, there's something I wanted to discuss here. There's something that I need to get out in the open. Could you imagine living in a relationship where both people are entirely honest and open with one another? That is what's required. Look at your relationship. That'll tell you right there that it's a special relationship. So we compromise. There's no true communication. And that's what we do in the dream world. But when you work with spirit, everything is out in the open. You're being open and honest and truthful. There's no compromise. It's a different way to live. Yeah. And I love you, Kogi, because I've seen you, on our beautiful trip to India, you were able to speak, what's in your heart. And it's a beautiful thing because you were received by mighty companions, and no one's making you wrong for what you feel, but you get to have everything out in the open. As children, we weren't allowed to express. We weren't allowed to say what was on our heart. You dare not be sad or whatever it was. You were told to stop your crying and straighten up, and so we compromised and we wore a smile with all of this stuff beneath the surface. That's our private thoughts. We compromise our spirit, who we really are and what we'd like to say and what we'd like out in the open. And people will say, well, wouldn't that be rude? Wouldn't I be talking rude? Not when the Holy Spirit is your guide. See, it goes back to first things first. Put God first. And then you're able to say to a person, you're not compromising anything anymore. Does that help you? Yeah. Thank you, Kogi. Yes. Yeah, beautiful. And think about it. We don't like kids that aren't compromising their feelings or emotions. We don't like them. We always say when kids are quiet, oh, they're so good. No, they are on the path of being robots. Because parents, sorry parents, I was one too. I still am, but my girls are all big now. We want robots. Don't talk back to me. Don't have any opinions. Don't have any feelings or emotions, and do what I say. And that's what's called a good child. No, that's called a robot who's going to have psychosis or some kind of mental disorder, depression, guilt, anger, rage, compromised. I love kids that are little tyrants. I'd rather have a tyrant than a good child. Someone who's being real. And you know what? I'm so lucky. God sends me people that are real. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, really. Just be yourself. Be open, be honest. Yeah, think about the kids in your life. If you're a parent, think about the kids, your children, what you don't want them to be, say. You speak for them. The parental ego's massive. All of this nonsense. Identified with a role you're playing as a father, as a mother, your prized possession, this child that you made. No, that's a spirit sent by God for you to nurture their soul. And they're just mirroring what you don't want to look at in yourself. Oh yeah, it's deep. It's really deep. Okay, thanks for your question. Yeah. So, what do you ask for in your heart? We're being asked this in lesson 185. Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider what you believe will comfort you. Just consider that. No, it's a fleeting cloud, because only peace is going to bring you sustainable equanimity. You can sustain that balance, that harmony within, when you make peace your goal continuously. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. This is all illusion. Play the game. Play the game of life, as Baba says. Life is a game. Play the game. Life is a challenge. And what is the challenge in life? To change your mind about who you think you are. That's the challenge. Are you up for it? Can you change your mind about who you think you are? You think you're a body with all these constructs you came up with, all these beliefs, all these ego concepts. You are none of that. Your mind is asleep. And it is the sleeping mind that's creating the insanity. So change your mind about who you think you are and re-identify as the image and likeness of God. Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, peaceful, joyous, happy, yet musical, creative being. Let not some dreams be more acceptable. See, there's the thing. It's like, okay, God, if you just brought me a Rolls Royce instead of a Volkswagen, oh, that's a better dream within a dream. Insane. So we still have these, think about the if onlys. If I had this, these lingering special dreams that are bigger dreams that would give you that lasting peace. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? So the next time you're chasing a dream and you're outside of peace, stop right there and say to yourself, is this what I would have? Rather than heaven? Is that what I would have? Rather than the peace of God? Drop it, move it away. Can you feel that? Even when I see myself do this in that camera, I'm like, push, it's all gone, it's all gone, all gone. All that's there is a beacon of love, is a beacon of light. And that in itself is everything. And this everything light has a guide with a light that together me and this light will walk, and this light will dispel everything else. That's what I'm going for. This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace, or you have asked for dreams. Wow, what a powerful sentence. It's either peace or a dream. Peace or a dream. And remember, peace falls under the umbrella of everything. So it's not like right away the ego will kick in and say, oh my God, if I go for peace, then I'm not going to have. Do you see the insanity of the ego? And yet peace falls under the umbrella of everything. You will have everything because peace is everything. It will not be gone, this peace, with every twist and turning of the road. See, right now, if someone looks at you the wrong way, oh, you're not peaceful now. If someone says something to you in a certain tone, oh, there goes your peace. Because there's such an attachment to this dream world. But when you stick with God and the light in you, the spirit, it doesn't matter what the outside world does. A person can look at you cross-eyed, they can stick their tongue out at you, whatever, and no, you're just fine. Every twist and turning of the road to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. You want the peace of God. And so do all who seem to ask for dreams. So all of us that are searching in this world of nothingness, what we really want is peace. That's what you think those dreams are going to bring you. That's why you chase them. But you can just be done with all of that. Stop chasing them. Fall inward. Sink deeply inward with deep faith and trust in your Creator, in the Spirit. No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it. For he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Tell yourself today, wow, God's will for me is peace because I am his son, light. That's God's will for me. So I'm going to give up everything else. I'm going to stop it. Because you can be happy right now in this moment. And the Holy Spirit will guide you always back to the present moment. That's the holy instant. She will guide you back to the present moment where peace abides. And that's where you want to be, because out of that comes everything else. How can you fail when you but ask for what God wills for you? And how could your request be limited to you alone? You become so peaceful that people want to be around you because they feel something in your presence. They feel peace. That's really beautiful. And that's when two are joined. What is joined by God, no man can put asunder. That's a true marriage, really. Sitting as a peaceful agent of the light and someone else coming up to the level you're at in peace. Minds are joined. Bodies are not joined, and minds can never be joined in the dream world. You cannot pretend to be peaceful and make someone else peaceful. When you are the embodiment of peace, you radiate this sweetness, this peacefulness, that like a moth to light, people want to be near you. You just feel good. Allow nothing from here on in to disturb the peace of God that resides within your heart. Allow nothing to upset you. Allow nothing to knock you off your center. Just keep remembering that no matter what happens, no matter what comes to you, it's all a lesson in forgiveness. And to remember the deeper meaning of forgiveness is to go beyond the illusion. That's what it means to forgive. I look beyond it, part the veil. When I do that, I think of The Mists of Avalon. Such a great movie, such a great book. The Mists of Avalon. They open like a curtain, and you go beyond the veil. We forgive everything in this world, the bad, so-called bad, and the good. Because as long as something's good, then there's going to be something bad. As long as there's something bad, there's going to be something good. And both are illusions that need to be forgiven. Go beyond good and bad. Go back into the light, to the peace. Remember, for you to attain a state of total and complete peace, your mind must be healed completely of the separation. You must tell yourself, I can never be separate from God. I am not separate from God. That is the healing of the mind. You must look down into this box, this mind of yours, at every dark thought you hold, every fear-based thought you hold, every belief that you have, every value that you have, and bring it all up. You must go into the darkness and back up to the light. You cannot have that healing unless you're willing to expose everything and bring it up. It's really, really important. It's part of the work. You know, oftentimes I tell people, write a letter to the Holy Spirit, just like she's your divine mother, someone you really trust, like a most beautiful confidant, and write this letter and tell the mother everything about you, your fears, your sadness, your absolute disgust about yourself, everything, write it down. Your beliefs, put it all on paper, ready to expose it all. It's a fearless inventory of the contents of this dark box. It holds all your dark thoughts. Want them exposed, want them up into the light. And write that letter. And then you can take that letter and read that letter out loud as you look into the mirror. And allow yourself to feel all those emotions and the feelings that would come with everything that you thought about yourself and everything you thought about someone else. This is a letter of, like, it's deep. And how you hated that person, how you hate yourself, and you write it, and then you read it, and you allow yourself to feel it, to really feel and expose it and get it all up, put it all up, bring it up, move it away. And then on a full moon or a new moon, even better, a new beginning, in ritual, burn your letter, give it to the mother. You know, rituals help us when you do them with sincerity, with an intention. That's a beautiful way to expose these private thoughts that no one else knows. But yet the whole world of fear is based on private thoughts. Anger, fear, jealousy, all of it. Things you don't want people to know about you. It's all there, and that is what makes our world. It is a projection. Private thoughts are projected, make a projected world. And to write all this down and to let it be known, just know that your higher self, the spirit in you, knows none of this is real. None of it is taken seriously. You take it seriously, and that's your suffering. But the spirit in you has the lamp to dispel all of these things because they are nothing. To heal that core belief, that core private thought, where you think you're separate from God, is the number one. I am not separate from God. I am one with my Father, with my Creator. That is where you want to go. And I think that covers everything that I've pulled. Oh, I just made another note here. Yeah, remember, if there's anything that you hide deep down, you can't heal it. And you don't have to go around, even in the 12-step program, there's always a sponsor, a confidant to the recovering. And listen, we're all in recovery. You are recovering your spirit. Everybody is. This is like a 12-step program. You have to recover your spirit from being fragmented in this world of illusion. And so in the 12-step program and many other programs out there for self-healing, we have a confidant, a sponsor, someone that has your best interest at heart, whereby you can sit and expose your private thoughts, your fears, your darkness, your sadness. And this person is not advising you. This person is not counseling you. This person is receiving you with love, without judgment, so that you can feel lighter and relieved. It's part of the healing. But if you hide things, you can't heal it. So if you don't have anyone in your space that you feel safe with, then take out that paper and make it such a holy and sacred moment. Light a candle, put some flowers there, soul food around you as you write to the divine, and read it and feel it and let it go. Okay? And I think that's everything. Yeah, I think we covered it all. So, well, today we say, I make peace my goal. That's all there is to do. That's not complicated. All right. So anyway, I love you guys so much, you beautiful people, our family of light, all your lights on that lamp post. Yeah. And I'll be back on Wednesday. We're just having a grand time with our soul astrology. I love your comments and your feedback and your emails. So many of you are having aha moments and revelatory moments, and it just inspires me to keep sharing. I love to share. And so join us if you feel inclined. And I'm always repeating things because that's the mother of invention is repetition. So I'll keep repeating it. It gets in. So that's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And other than that, I wish you such a wonderful day and a really peaceful evening, and a million hugs and kisses from my heart to yours. Bye, everyone.